Fanboys and felons, welcome back to another ALS video. I'm gonna be honest here. So I already recorded pretty much everything, and unfortunately, I forgot to end record. Tap the end record button. Shut down my computer, and well, I lost all the footage. But pretty much, yeah, I showed the new event, like the new dungeon. I did the portal, you know, and all that stuff. So I'm pretty much done with everything. I even macroed the dungeon and all that. Like everything is done. I'm so mad. I'm actually tweaking, but yep, I did the dungeon, I did the portal, and then I found Tusk everywhere. Yeah, all I have to do is just evolve everyone. I'm so sad. I'm actually so sad. But we don't have ×4. And that kind of sucks. Cause I would really like ×4, but I might wait for Friday for ×4. In the meantime, I'll just cry. I don't know, man. Like I'm actually so upset at the fact that that happened. I'm usually pretty good with that stuff. Like sometimes I have stuff that just is straight up out of my control. Like I've been having a lot of audio issues lately, and I've been really on top of that. So these past few videos that I've dropped, luckily I haven't had any issues because I've gone through extreme precautions to not have them. But very, very upsetting. But oh well. What can you do? I guess we'll just go ahead and just roll on everybody and evolve them and just go straight into the showcase, because I mean there's really nothing to show. I mean, I'm already gonna be like 3 weeks late when it comes to dropping this video anyways, so oh my god. Alright, let's just ignore that just happened. I'm already gonna be like 3 weeks late when I drop this video, so this stuff is already out there. It is what it is. I guess I could go over the update log. Pretty simple. Johnny, he's a new godly. He evolves from the old Johnny. We got 5 new units from part 7 and part 8, and also we have like Ruby from Ruby. We have Gappy, we have Gyro, Valentine, and then Wonder of You. And then they all have their evolutions, including actually Ruby there. They finally reworked Jinwoo. Hopefully he's good. And by the way, I should note, when I did my Hunter x Hunter video, I did showcase the buffed version of these. So I showed the correct ones, like pose, stuff, you know, buff and stuff. Yeah, it shows the new godly trial. They fixed souls finally. Definitely a little bit better. The new dungeon where you can get Valentine and Gyros to drop, and then you can buy evolution items. And then the portal, you can get Gappy, I believe, at 25 runs, and then you can get Wonder of You from the secret portal, which is, I believe, 35 runs for a pity. Alright, so it is Friday, so 4 times luck is here, so I guess we'll start rolling on everyone. I'm gonna start on Johnny because I have 4,000 right there. I'm not gonna take anything other than glitch, so if bro's gonna eat through 4,000, he's gonna eat through 4,000, bro. Like, at that point, it's just not meant to be. So yeah, let me set up my auto clicker here so we can just get going. We're gonna get glitched for sure on him. I'm not taking even Avatar. Johnny is such a fire character, and I actually heard he's, I think, the best unit in the game right now. Even better than Freerin, so that yeah, I want glitched on him. I just got glitched on my shiny Freerin, which is super cool, and I ended up evolving her right before I actually even recorded any of this. So super excited. I actually haven't tested her out yet. I had tested her with Avatar, which is what my non-shiny has, but not with glitch. So Super, super curious to see how good she is. Oh my god, there we go. Hey, okay. I love to see it. We got glitched on Johnny. All right. And my microphone just took a shit there. What the fuck was that? Oh, now that we have glitched on Johnny, I think, let's go ahead and move on to probably Valentine. Yeah, let's do funny Valentine. I will take Overlord on everyone else. Like at bare minimum, I will take Overlord. I don't really think anyone else is good. I should probably double check the tier list, just to make sure, but I'm almost certain that none of the other units have just any use. God, I couldn't think for a second there. Let's see. So here we go. New units tier list. Wonder of You is supposedly the second best unit, so I might chase Avatar on him. But seems like Valentine is actually number 3 for everything except Infinite. He's number 2. So I may or may not want Avatar on Funny Valentine. Oh, there we are. It's just that simple. You just talk about it and just summon it into your fucking life. I'm gonna move on to Wonder of You. Also would like an Avatar on him. Not gonna get too picky. Again, pretty satisfied with my glitch Johnny, so we'll take whatever we can. No way, man. Okay. Yeah, sure. I'll take glitched on Wonder of You. Absolutely. That's actually awesome. Let's go to move on to probably Gappy. Why not? Gyro supposedly is the worst unit in this entire update. Kind of depressing, I'm not gonna lie, but it is what it is. Gyro's such a cool character, but they just, I don't know, man. They had to cuck my boy like that. It's kind of a trade-off. They made Johnny overpowered, and then I guess they gotta just make Gyro just mid.
Eventually.
Okay, let's go ahead and get the odd one out here. So let's go ahead and start with Ruby. She is obviously the Infinity Castle unit. She is a ground placement, but she's also hybrid on placement. She is 1500, perfect seal. Has been a minute since we've gotten a perfect seal unit. At max upgrade, looks like she's at 270 million. She has 2 passives. For every enemy in range, lose 1% SPA with a cap of 15 and gain 2% range with a cap of 30%. If a boss is in range, instantly gain previous buffs at its cap, and then she also gains stun. So that's like anytime a boss is there, which is nice. Tactical play, inflict different effects every attack on enemies based on their element. Fire, sunburn, water, blizzard, nature, bleed, light, bolt, and then dark plasma. Okay, so in this stage specifically, since I did choose the Morio Infinite, she would only be applying bleed. But yeah, she has those different little things that she can do. Not too impressive, I'm gonna be honest. Very expected. Again, Infinity Castle unit, never really expect anything out of them. So, but she's there. She's a unit, one of the units of all time. So let's go ahead and move on, probably to Gappy, because I do want to leave Wukong for last. He did get his rework. So Gappy, 2000 water unit. He is hybrid on placement, and then he has 8 upgrades. Finishes off with 407 million, inflicting detonation and soaked. Okay, he has 2 passives. Property bubbles every 5 attacks. Activate one of the 3. Restriction bubble, inflict restrict, which is that on enemy for 10 seconds. Remove elemental disadvantages from water element units in range for the duration of restrict. Okay. Friction, inflicts stun on enemies. Steal 1% current HP every second for 4 seconds, with a 20 billion cap per tick, and then 100 billion cap per proc. Minus 15% current enemy speed for 10 seconds after stun lifts, and then plunder bubble, inflicts shred, and then they take 15% more damage for the duration of shred. He also has explosion bubbles every 3rd property bubble activation. Deal 100% damage, inflict detonation, gain 15% damage, gain 30% range, and then activate property bubble every other attack. Okay. Then he also has one active, go beyond. Upon activation, gain the following buffs for 100 seconds. Gain 30% damage, gain 40% range, lose 10% SPA, and then unlock beyond passive. Choose between 3 of the bubbles: plunder, friction, restrict. The chosen bubble is applied in range every 5 attacks, with the random bubble inflicted from property bubbles passive. Okay, so that's pretty much what we read here. So for example, I'm gonna do we'll do the plunder bubble. Why not? Sure. Yeah, let's do the plunder one. So there we go. Now in theory he should be applying shred, and then the enemies should be taking 50% more damage. Obviously, since this is an older map, look at the I mean, they're still in the thousands, so yeah, there's no way to see them with shred. But it looks like Gappy would be a pretty decent how should I say that? A decent support unit for sure. Decent range, damage is okay. I mean, the 53 million on top of, you know, what he's doing, and then I guess he's applying so that's nice. He's okay. For like most of these units, I'm sure we will never use them ever again, but Gappy is there. He is a usable unit. Let's go ahead and move on to Gyro. So Gyro, only 7 upgrades, 543 million. He's inflicting crippled. He has 2 passives. Mentor of Spin. Each unit in range receives 5% damage buff every 3 waves. Teach a new lesson. Increase the value of the buff. Wave 3, 10% range. Wave 6, 15% range. Wave 9, 25% range and 5% DOT damage. Wave 12, 30% range, 10% DOT damage, and then wave 15, 35% range, 20% DOT damage, and 5% range. Okay. If the unit being buffed is Johnny, all lessons give an additional 5% buff to him. Lesson 1 and 2 happen instantly. 3 at wave 8, 5 at 12, and then 5 gives Johnny 50% elemental advantage and 40% range. Each unit in range. Every 3, teach a new lesson. So this applies to absolutely everyone, no? Hold on. Okay, so I'm gonna place Gappy there. I want to see if it actually does apply to everyone. I just realized I didn't have attack effects on. I'm sure they're nothing crazy. Yeah, I mean, for God's sake, yeah. Okay. Interesting. Beyond the Spin, if Johnny is equipped on your team with Gyro, Johnny deals 300% damage to water element enemies and loses disadvantage to nature enemies. Okay. So we got an Asa Uno situation going on here. Gotta love it. Johnny and Gyro gain 25% range. Johnny regenerates 2 nails instead of 1. Okay. Huh. So you definitely want, for sure, Johnny with him. Wow. Okay. No, I'm trying to get behind the fact that, you know, this part right here, like if Johnny's in the, like, I'm sure Johnny's already just busted beyond belief. So the fact that we have a unit that just pretty much directly just okay, all right. Gyro low-key might be the move. I just activated perfect ratio out of instinct. Upon activation, inflict perfect ratio to enemies in map. What does perfect ratio do? Consumable status effect. Upon the next use of time stop, remove this effect and increase duration of the next time stop by 4 seconds. Once that time stop ends, deal 50% of that unit's damage. Wait, how? Oh, it's a 60-second go. Yo, that might actually be fire with Gojo. Think about it. Okay, where's... Oh, hold on. I need to check where Gyro is in the tier list. He's dead last. Oh, yeah. See, listen, this is why you should just never listen to me. I have terrible unit evaluation skills. How is he dead last? Like, even in support, he's... Let me see. He's still the worst unit in support. How is that... Okay, sure. Let's go ahead and move on to Wukong. I'm pretty sure he did not only have 8 upgrades, but you know what? Sure, we'll go for it. So, Jesus Christ, okay. 2 passives now. reaching Nirvana. For each clone fused into Wukong, gain 1 stack of Nirvana. Once 2 stacks have been reached, unlocked. I'm not gonna say that. I don't even know how to say that. Once 4 stacks have been reached, unlock Nirvana. And then that. Once reaching Nirvana bar has reached 2, gain this passive. Upon gaining passive loose buffs from clone disfusion, gain 30% range, unlock creation passive, unlock karma passive. Clone spawn now have a sage clone passive, and then set damage stat to 15 million and range to 50. Okay, huh. Oh, okay, so you manually spawn the clones now. Okay, spawn a clone which starts with the upgrade 0. Clone has 20% Wukong's damage, applies to all upgrades, and then 75% of Wukong's range. SPA is identical to Wukong's SPA. Once this clone has been maxed, gain clone diffusion ability. Okay, so let's go and spawn a clone. So, yep, there we go. Okay, so... Oh. Wait, can you just... Oh. What did I do? I did something that I wasn't supposed to do. Okay, hold on. Wait, what? Clone to Wukong, deleting this clone permanently. Okay. I'm tweaking. Okay, but... Okay, so if I do it from Wukong himself, he can keep creating the clones. Okay, so... you definitely want to probably... get as many clones as possible. I think you can only... How many can you do? Hold on. Okay, because you were able to do just 4, I'm pretty sure, or 5. Okay, so it looks like you can only have a cap of 6, but let's go ahead and fuse 2 more into Wukong, and that should... Oh, I guess I can't read. There we go. Okay, so now he's at Nirvana, so he gains... Oh my good God. I'm not reading all that, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm just gonna say bro's cracked. Yo, no, you got me bent. Genuinely, you got me tweaking if you think I'm gonna read all that. ALS. Boss Studios, nah, you're good. Reality, choose 1 of 3 options. Time destruction, life chosen, drain 50% current HP from enemies on map, 40%. All right, you know what? Yeah, sure. You can read that if you want. You can pause the video. I'm not doing all that. I'm gonna just say, oh my God, Wukong is just destroying my fucking PC. Holy shit. All right, let's go ahead and check out my goat, Wonder of You. So Wonder of You has 7 upgrades. He is at 918 million. Again, glitched. He has Despair. So let's go ahead and read what he's doing here. Wonder of You has 3 zones: inner, middle, and outer. 30% range, 75% range, or full range. Once an enemy enters range, take 10% of Wonder of You's current damage every second, 5% more damage for every clone he has spawned, with a 20% increased cap. After enemies stay in the outer zone for 15 seconds, take 5% damage for each additional second in range, with a 100% increased cap. Maximum possible damage per second is 130%. Okay, that sounds kind of cracked. Calamity zones. Upon entering new zones, enemies are inflicted with different effects: outer, middle, and inner. So we have stun plus random effect, or stun plus 3 random effects. All enemies in range take more damage from calamity passive based on current zone for the next 30 seconds. Outer zone 100, 150 for middle, and then 200 for inner. Okay, so is that something you... Oh yeah, it's something you can't see. So okay. Whoa. Usually when you hover, like for example someone like Aizen, it'll show you like physically the numbers of like what is what, but I guess you can probably, like, you know, figure it out. You can probably figure it out. He seems actually really nice. Post-death resonance. Upon activation, spawn a clone beside a random unit in range. 5 clone cap. Spawn clone will have 50% Wonder of You's current damage, 10% of the unit. 10% of the unit he is spawned to, plus 300 million cap, and take on the unit's range in which he has spawned to. Clones last 60 seconds, and they gain passive calamity clone. Okay, so he gains passive calamity clone. Okay, calamity clone. No, okay, so He should spawn next to someone. I just... Is he not working? Does it have to be like a unit that attacks? Okay, I think it has to be next to a unit that attacks. So farms don't count. So there we go, 459. And then Calamity Clone. When Wonder of You main unit applies a zone status effect, this unit has a 50% chance to reapply the effect to the enemies once it has expired. Why does he sound like actually so cracked? Hold on. Where is he in the tier list? He's the second best overall behind Johnny. I am so happy I got glitched on him. He sounds actually insane. Like, you can just spam this. And like, okay, let's say, for example, you just place him, right? Because the farms obviously don't count. You can place him right here, and then maybe another unit right here, and then maybe, just maybe, another unit right here. You can just keep popping that, and it'll be a free clone. Like, half a billion damage. Like, that's still, like, pretty decent, you know? It's like, it's not like it's trash. And then you can have those other units maxed out. Like, you can have really good units. Like, for example, I have Valentine right there, and then I could probably have Johnny, like, anywhere back here, and then he can just keep spawning them, which is insane. So okay. Little spoiler there. All right. Wonder of You seems really good. I'm super happy that I got glitched on him. So let's go ahead and move on to Valentine. Valentine's 7 upgrades, 424 million. Okay, interesting. So he has just one passive, at least for now. Dimensional Hop. Every attack spawn a clone for 3 attacks. Clone has crippled, 30% current Valentine's damage and same range and SPA and other stats, skill tree included. Okay. Clone's passive mirroring. If Valentine has attacked within 2 seconds of this unit's attacking, deal 50% of Valentine's damage on the following attack, and clone lasts 1 extra attack. Plus 2 attack duration cap. Okay, so he has 2 actives. Love Car, 120 seconds after placement, and if upgrade 4, gain access to this ability. Upon activation for the next 120 seconds, all enemies take 25% damage. Anytime a unit on map crits, the crit damage is redirected to a random enemy in range, dealing 75% of the crit's damage. Holy crap. Redirection occurs 3 times, 1 redirect per second. Each redirection reduces the damage of the following redirection by 15%. That's still kind of cracked though. Dimensional Collapse. Upon activation for the next 45 seconds, gain 50% damage. All enemies in range will be removed from the map, only able to be attacked by Valentine and his clones. Kill the strongest enemy affected by this ability. Does not work on bosses, and other enemies have a 1% chance to instantly die each second until duration ends. Once ability ends, gain the following buffs for 60 seconds. Gain 1% damage times number of enemies affected by ability. Clones gain 0.25% damage. Increased duration of clones spawned by 3 attacks. He sounds actually really damn good. Where is he on the tier list? He's number 3 overall. Okay, let's go ahead and activate Love Train here. So, oh, there we go. There's a... okay. So, this has to be Love Train's doing right here. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I see that, and obviously, it shows like even a bar of how many attacks it has left. So, boom, there we go. It kind of deleted itself, but again, it keeps spawning more. So that's actually kind of nuts. And then let's go ahead and activate Dimensional Collapse. Yep, his damage there skyrocketed 626 million. You got to take into account the fact that, you know, he has obviously a lot of clones. Like, there's 2 clones of him right now. He actually just keeps spawning clones constantly, so I can see why he's really good. His attack is really short, less than 4-second SPA, really good range. So he seems really good. I'm super happy they made Valentine an actual viable unit, because obviously the old Battle Pass Valentine, I think he was okay when he dropped. I don't really remember too much, but let's go to move on to Johnny. So let's plop the last upgrade there, 128 millions. Okay, so let's start reading here. Growing Resolve, this unit's stats is influenced based on Tusk's current Tusk Act. Act 1 minus 5% SPA, 2 is 10% minus 10% SPA, 5% range, 5% damage. Act 3 is minus 15% range, 10%, 15% SPA, sorry, 10% range, 10% damage, and then Act 4 is minus 20% SPA, plus 15% range, 15% damage, immune to stuns, and 10% nail damage. Okay, every third attack Johnny performs on the same enemy perform different functions based on his current Tusk Act. Act 1 through 2 perform 20% damage follow-up attack. Act 3 perform 35% damage follow-up attack and applies slow. An enemy takes 15% damage from Johnny and Tusk for 15 seconds. And then Act 4 inflict stun, perform 100% damage follow-up attack, ignore elemental resistance, deal 10% damage every 1 second for 5 seconds, and apply shred after 5 seconds. What the hell? Okay. Golden Nails, Johnny has 10 nails upon placement, which operate on their own SPA. Nail regeneration and SPA scales off of Tusk's current act. Okay, so Act 1, fire nail every 20 seconds, regenerate 1 nail every 15. Fire nail every 17 seconds, regenerate 1 after 12. Fire nail every 13 seconds, regenerate after 10 seconds. And then fire nail every 10 seconds, and regenerate after 7 seconds. Okay. Once the nail has been activated, deal 40% current damage and perform different functions based on Tusk's acts. So Act 1, bleed off 15% current damage. 2, bleed off 25% current damage and cripple. Act 3, reverse movement for 3 seconds, inflict hemorrhage off 30% damage. And then Act 4, reverse movement for 6 seconds, inflict hemorrhage off 35% current damage. Enemies receive 10% damage from Johnny and Tusk with a 50% cap for 30 seconds. Drain 2% current HP with a cap of 200 billion damage with an 8-second cooldown. Holy shit. Okay. He has Herbal Tea as an active. Upon activation, gain the following buffs for 60 seconds. Minus 3% cooldown for Golden Nails. Nails meter is no longer reduced. Gain 15% damage. Gain 20% range. Nails now deal 50% damage and seal of 40. And then he has another active, Wormhole. Upon activation, choose an area in range for Johnny and Tusk to teleport to. If activated, automatically skip this effect. Upon teleporting or activating automatically, deal 150% damage in range, minus 35% enemy speed for 30 seconds, knock back enemies for 5 seconds. If Act 4, it's 10 seconds. And then if an enemy leaves range while under slow from this ability, inflict mutilate off of Tusk's damage. Okay, so let's go ahead and check out Tusk here. So he has 2 passives. Evolution, this unit permanently evolves as you use it. Act 2 requirements, reach upgrade 3. Act 2, gain 15% damage, get new attack, increase in size, and unlocked 1 more upgrade. And then he has Shockwave. For every 5 enemies that enter range, inflict crippled, permanently slow all enemies in range by 5%, and increase slow value by 2.5 per act. Okay, so let's upgrade into passive 3, and then I have to learn the power spin, or everything else will end here. There we go. Boom. So and now he's Act 2. Then boom, we upgrade him 1 more time. He hasn't evolved yet because Act 3 requirements is reach upgrade 4, inflict crippled 25 times using Shockwave, and spin passive 3 times, and then in Act 3. He gains 15% damage, gained new attack, increase in size, and unlocked 1 more upgrade. So this is actually super cool because, you know, he just keeps literally evolving. Like, you actively have to use him just so you get more benefits. So I love that, actually. He also has Golden Spin. Every 5 times Johnny activates Golden Nails, inflict bleed to all enemies, and then attack the strongest unit in range and inflict stun. Okay, there we go. Now we have Tusk Act 3. So he has a lot that he's doing. Oh my god. Evolution, this unit permanently evolves, obviously. Act 4 requirements is reach upgrade 5, use Johnny Wormhole 2 times, activate Golden Spin EX 3 times, inflict pressure on 50 enemies, and then on Act 4 he gains 20% damage, and then he grants Johnny 50% damage and range. So Shockwave EX, every 3 times Johnny activates Golden Nails, inflict pressure, deal 50% of this unit's damage to afflicted enemies every second for 5 seconds. After those 5 seconds, permanently receive 5% damage from Johnny's Golden Nails. Golden Spin EX, every 5 times Johnny uses Golden Nails, inflict Shred and Mutilate. Additionally, against strongest enemy in range, stun and hemorrhage, deals an additional attack and deal 50% damage on the next attack against this enemy. And then Unstable Vortex, if this unit has not defeated any enemies in 5+ attacks, attacks now inflict unstable. Enemies in range take 10% of this unit's damage every seconds, and then these effects expire after this unit has defeated any enemy. Okay, so that's him at his max upgrade. Obviously, we have to meet the requirements here, which is actually activating Wormhole, which, as you can see, we can now teleport him, which is super cool. Johnny is still lying there on the floor, but you know what? We can get past that. It's not Anime Last Stand without a few bugs. Have to activate Wormhole one more time, and I believe Golden Spin EX. Okay, so that's just something he passively does. Okay, so let's go ahead and try and activate Wormhole one more time. I guess if we have it, we can actually see, like, if you have it like on auto ability, it won't actually teleport the unit. It'll just keep it in the same place. So it should activate here. Boom, there we are. So now I believe he just has to activate Golden Spin 3 times. I'm pretty sure that's what he has to do.
2,000 years later.
All right, I'm gonna be honest, gang. I've been here for a hot minute, and Tusk is just not evolving. It might be because this stage is simply too easy, so he's just absolutely shredding through it, and Johnny too, not giving him a chance to even attack. So I'm gonna just go ahead and say that Tusk and Johnny are absolutely just insane, absolute destruction. I can't wait to actually use them in hard content. I do appreciate when units are actually usable, and they demand use out of you. So yeah, that was a video. Overall, great update. I'm not gonna lie, like, I really enjoyed this update. I didn't mind grinding for the units. It was actually pretty enjoyable. Some stinky units, but that's like every single update. It's mainly 2 or 3 really good ones, and then the rest just stink. So yeah, that was a JoJo's update. Overall, pretty good. I liked it.